I want to officially welcome our new board and our new president. It is said that every child gets the right B'nai Mitzvah portion, and I think every president serves at the right time, bringing their own skills set to the task at hand. It is meaningful and poignant that Stuart takes the helm of this institution at a time that we are on a path to an even brighter future. Stuart is a graduate of Beth Am Day School. He got married here, and his children attended Beth Am. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next president, Stuart Ratzan, Beth Am class of 1977.
Temple Beth Am is a magical place. Mostly because of the people who congregate here, it is special. In the world of Reform Judaism, there are few places, if any, like Temple Beth Am. It is vibrant, it is growing. You heard 1,520 plus families. It has a first-class day school, a 15-acre campus, and it lives up to its mission, embracing Jewish life through lifelong learning, spiritual growth, and community engagement. I got to tell you guys made a big mistake. You gave the mic to a lawyer, and I really like it up here. I'm just kidding. Bob, you did an incredible job aptly stealing the thunder, thanking so many of the great people here. The past presidents behind me, Rabbi Barris, Rabbi Aklepi, Rabbi Greengrass, Rabbi Kempler. It's an embarrassment of riches at Temple Beth Am. And Daniela, I want to thank you for all of your hard work, your kindness, your humility, what you've done to continue to carry the flame here. So too, I want to thank the outgoing board members and the 1920 or 5779, 5780 new board and new executive committee. I'm so excited about the new group that we have and the things that we plan to do. I want to thank you all for coming today and for being an audience to hear what I have to say. I want to thank you to my family, my extended big tent in its own right. My aunt even flew from California to be here with us today and this weekend. I'm not the first in my family to be a temple president or a leader in Jewish causes. Nancy Ratzan, my stepmother, is past president of Temple Beth Shalom. Yes, I can get their secrets too. And also past president of the National Council for Jewish Women, NCJW. Let's just say I have a good advisor on the inside. Also, special thanks to my immediate family, our amazing children, Baylor and Leo, who you heard have grown up at Temple Beth Am, and who have proudly embarked on their own Jewish journeys as young adults. Their identities as Jews are strong, and I know Beth Am has so much to do with that. Lador Vador. I'm so full of nachas about that, but also full of faith for the future. High school in Israel, March of the Living, Birthright, our kids are awesome. Most especially, I thank my wife, Mickey, who I continue to recruit for my adventures in work and life, this being one more of them. But she's always loyal and helpful, listening to and improving my ideas, giving our children and me great love and respect, and keeping our family so close. A full-time criminal defense attorney, Mickey has become a leader in her own right, recently joining Women's Amutot as part of the Women's Philanthropy arm of Greater Miami Jewish Federation. Mickey has served on that committee under the leadership of Tracy Spiegelman. Tracy, our incoming executive vice president, incredibly passionate about Judaism, an incredibly competent and strong woman, and a courageous person as well. She is always committed and always knows what's in the best interest of Temple Beth Am, which is what this job is all about. And we're fortunate to have her. With Women's Amutot, Mickey and Tracy recently journeyed to Israel to disperse much-needed funds to programs that enhance the lives of Israeli women and children. I love you, Mickey. I hope I get to see you over the next couple of years. So this is really happening. People look at me often and they say, "Really?" It feels like they're looking and reading some word across my head. You can fill in the blank. Or just wondering, why would you agree to do something like that? Sometimes they even say it out loud. And then I look at them and I just think to myself, don't they know I get a designated parking space? Kidding aside, the simple truth is, being Temple president is serious business, and I'm serious about it. It's humbling. It's humbling because it's a large institution. Am I up to the task? And at the same time, I feel imbued with the audacity at what is before us. A $55 million capital campaign. A true investment in our future, our community, the reform movement, and in a larger sense, the Jewish people. At Beth and across modern American Judaism, people often refer to their Jewish journeys. We all have them. I have one too. Mine started years ago as an 8-year-old child, right here at Temple Beth. Let's go back there. It is October 1973. My family is new to Miami, having moved from Boston the year before. My parents are young doctors right out of training. I am enrolled at Coconut Grove Elementary School as a 3rd grade student. My parents, from what has been referred to as the assimilation generation, bring very little Judaism to our household. This despite their Long Island, 5-towns upbringing, and despite my grandfather's role as perhaps the preeminent kosher caterer in the New York metropolitan area. Go Katimsky and Tuckman. I know I am Jewish. The Catholic kids on my block in Boston make sure I'm aware of that. But I have few Jewish friends and really no clue. Meanwhile, the education quality at Coconut Grove Elementary is not inspiring. My mom searches the alternatives in Dade County at the time, and she discovers the nascent Beth Day School. My mom transfers me into Beth. My parents join the synagogue, and the plan is made for me to start 3rd grade at the day school, the Monday after Yom Kippur, October 1973. I learn right away, literally the moment I step into the classroom, that this tiny country called Israel was attacked 2 days before on Yom Kippur, and there was a full-blown war going on. I learn it is our country, and we are Jews. The classroom, the entire Beth Day School, is tense with the war. We follow the reports each day. Israel, our little slice of land, prevails. We celebrate. There are maps of the country in the classroom. I am learning Hebrew. For the rest of my elementary school years, we say the Shema each morning, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I am instantly filled with identity, self-worth, and excitement. My 3rd grade teacher is Seal Kunin. The principal is Sima Lesser. The rabbi is Herb Baumgard. It's funny what you remember. In 4th grade, I go to Burdines with my mom, and using allowance money, I buy a small girl's ring that says, "I like you," on it. Get a little apple. I use it to ask Tammy Wainshaw to marry me behind what was the baseball diamond on the Beth playing field. She says yes, but we're in 4th grade, so it never really happens. I don't know, is Janice Baseman here? Is Janice here? She may remember the girl. She probably doesn't remember that, but she was in my 3rd grade. She was in my class, and she probably remembers it. Then they build a new building with an indoor gym. The basketball league is born. My dad coaches. I play. My 2 younger brothers play. We love every minute of it. As a family, we become obsessed with basketball for the rest of our lives. My brothers enroll in the day school. Beth is cool and magical to me. I graduate. I have my bar mitzvah in the old sanctuary. My brothers do too. And that's my brother's wife and my niece walking through. Of course, time passed. I went away to college, came back for law school. I met Mickey and we got married with Beth clergy. Cantor Nelson sang at our wedding ceremony. We raised our kids in the day school, the religious school. They had their B'nai Mitzvot here, confirmation, and of course, Our kids played, and I coached every available season in the basketball league. And Baylor's pointing out, Mickey coached too. Jacob coached too. And Leo just finished coaching his own and continue to play just now. And so it goes, the circle of life. Beth has been a major part of our lives always. So why am I doing this? Why me and why now? This is a challenging time for all of us. Our golden age in America is no guarantee. We see around us threats, now in our own country, to our freedom and to our blessed way of life. What once was a refrain, "It could never happen here," has now shifted to "It could happen here." Never has turned into possible. So what's the next step from possible? Hopefully, the arc of history bends back toward never, but nothing is assured, and it is up to us to persevere, to fight for what is right, and to use all we have to push the hate back in the bottle. We can do it. We Jews are a stubborn people. Stiff-necked is how the Torah references it, but that has been a key to our survival. That's a key too. Little kids like that, he's adorable. Think about it. We're the only people outlasted the Roman Empire. We lost the battle in Jerusalem, but 2,000 years hence, the Romans are gone while we continue to thrive. So what does it mean to me to be president of Temple Beth? It is my way of giving back to our community, of helping us reach new heights, and of joining all of you in helping to bend the arc of history in favor of our people. But it's not simply tribal perseverance that makes this meaningful. The growth and sustenance of the Jewish people has an intrinsic value to mankind. Like the movie Seabiscuit, all of us and our world are a little bit broken. As Jews, we are taught to repair the world, so how do we do that? Jordan summed up what I'm about to tell you in a short song. Love ourselves, help others, heal the world. Sure, soup kitchens, Thanksgiving food giveaways, Yom Kippur food drives, and Habitat for Humanity all flow from the Tikkun Olam principle. But also the simple act of practicing our religion and its moral teachings, the simple existence of Jews being Jews, that too can repair the world. And what do I mean by that? Let me take the liberty of sharing with you a letter I sent recently to my son Leo. He journeyed to Poland and Israel a couple weeks ago as part of the Leo Martin March of the Living. Our own Tamara Donenfeld was with him. My father was with him. Mickey and I had done it the year before. The trip organizers this year asked the parents to write letters to our children that they would receive upon the conclusion of the Poland itinerary before flying to Israel. In the letter, I recount my perspective. In a way, it is an account of where I am at this moment in my life on my Jewish journey. I sent it to him, and he gave me permission to share portions of it with you. I should say that much of it derives from a lifetime of considering these questions, but also much of it was crystallized after reading Rabbi Jonathan Sacks' book, Future Tense, Jews, Judaism, and Israel in the 21st Century, a book Rabbi Barris gave me several years ago when he became our senior rabbi. In the book, Rabbi Sacks articulates the Jewish response to two polar opposite historical impulses. One is universalism, the need for all of us to come together, think John Lennon and the song Imagine. And the other impulse is particularism, the need for tribal or group identity. Rabbi Sacks delivers a raison d'etre for the Jewish people, who Rabbi Sacks argues are uniquely positioned to give mankind the proper balance between the two extremes. I strongly recommend the book and anything that Rabbi Sacks ever wrote. So, you ready for this letter? It's just a portion of it. Dear Leo, by now you have witnessed history, not just any history, but the tragic history of the Jewish people of the 20th century. In some ways, this history is nothing new. Blind hatred and destruction of our people. This has been a part of history at different times from the very beginning. It is modern history and ancient history, but that doesn't make it irrelevant or untimely. What is old is new. What is past is prologue. So what can we learn from all this? Here are some of my thoughts I want to share with you. We don't come here and learn to hate. We learn instead the consequences of hatred. We learn that we are here as Jews on earth for a purpose. We have to be. That purpose can't be to exist for the sake of it. We must exist for something greater than ourselves. Judaism, the Torah, and the teachings of our religion are loaded with wisdom for leading a righteous and meaningful life. Being a good Jew means being a better person. I believe we stand for something unique in the world. It seems that the major religions and political philosophies of the world, other than Judaism, are all grappling with the same problem and reaching similar answers with different means. The problem for so many people is difference among people. The answer for so many people is to eliminate difference. When the ego is out of control, it says, I want all the other people to think, act, and look just like me. This leads to ethnic cleansing, religions that seek conversion to the world of their way, genocide, utter disrespect, and need to eliminate difference by destroying it. On the other hand, when the ego is diminutive and weak, it says, I give up, I just want to be like everybody else. This leads to communism, the utter denial and hatred of self, and the elimination of individuality. It too can lead to genocide, but usually through assimilation, lack of original thought, and also religious conversion or the elimination of religion altogether in favor of a philosophical view that says everyone has to be the same in every respect. In either instance, destruction of individuality is the goal, and in either instance, that goal is unnatural and dehumanizing. People have an instinctive drive to be and think as individuals. But Judaism, and in particular Reform Judaism, stands against both of these unbalanced, simplistic approaches. The existence of Jews in Judaism speaks to the importance of individuality. We don't agree with or assimilate into the world's major religions, but we don't seek to convert the world either. At rock bottom, we accept that the entire world will never be Jewish, and we don't intend for it to be any different than that. At the same time, we believe in one God for all people, so we recognize the universality or oneness of mankind. We celebrate and insist on individuality and commonality, on difference and sameness. It's not a contradiction for us. In this way, we are a threat to the strains of political and religious thought on both the left wing and the right wing that seek to deal with difference by eliminating it. We offer perhaps the best chance, this is Rabbi Sachs' words, by the way, or his concept. We offer perhaps the best chance mankind has to live peacefully and fully in the world. Our very existence as a people provides hope that mankind can balance its need for individuality with its simultaneous need for universalism and community. I go on to explain about Israel, a nation state that stands for the individuality of being Jewish, that seeks its equal place in the community of nations in a world of difference, and which at her best internally celebrates both the Jewish ties that bind and the broad swath of individual differences the Jewish people from all over the world bring to it. As Jews, we cannot truly learn to love and appreciate others until we love and appreciate ourselves as Jews. We will never know, understand, or accept why the Shoah occurred. But despite it all, I believe in God as a higher power with reasons of its own. Despite the horror of the Shoah, there are too many stories of miracles. The survival of the Jewish people and the birth of the state of Israel, the two largest among them, to conclude that there's no divine intervention at all. As Albert Einstein said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. It's obvious which is the happier path. Irrespective of spirituality, miracles, or belief in God, as a matter of principle, the Jewish people's survival gives hope to the world that all people can live to celebrate both our differences and our similarities at the same time. The balance is the key. Being forced to abandon or volunteering to abandon our individuality is never right. Celebrating our Jewishness is one of the highest forms of asserting our individuality in this world. but neither is it right to abandon those who are different from us. In the words of U2's Bono, we're one, but we're not the same. We've got to carry each other. Or in the words of Hillel, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am for myself alone, what am I? If not now, when? Hillel's ancient wisdom reminds us we have to put ourselves first. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? We never give up on who we are, what makes us unique, what makes us Jews. We have to fight for our place in the world, and we know by now that there are always and always have been powerful forces seeking to deprive us of that place. We also know that those same forces seek the destruction of all individuality across all cultures, religions, and philosophies. Those who hate Jews are the same people who see difference as a threat and individuality as evil. But our work is not done simply by asserting our Jewishness and standing for individuality. We also must give ourselves to others, to those who are different than us, because we are not alone in this world. But if I am for myself alone, what am I? We have so much in common with the other, the stranger, those who are different from us. By first celebrating our differences, we can then celebrate our oneness. And the sooner we learn to live this way, the better. The time is now. The time is always. If not now, when? There is so much more I could write you, Leo, but I wanted you to have my perspective, born out of years of deep thought and experience on this subject. Now you know what the Shoah, Israel, and Judaism mean to me. As you travel on your own Jewish journey, I can't wait to learn what all of this means to you. I love you, Leo Ratzan. The hard part is over. Israel awaits. Have a great time. Celebrate life, the country, you, your Jewishness, and the people around you. Am Yisrael Chai. The miracles continue. Always. All my love, Dad. As your temple president, I believe in the future of the Jewish people. Not just the fact of it, but the importance of it. And its importance not only to us as Jews, but its importance to our ability to bond with and serve our fellow man, Jew and Gentile alike. It is time to convert the hatred into love and to bring the world the balance that all of us so desperately need. I believe all of this, not just on a practical level, but on a spiritual level. I believe in better, and I believe in all of you. And finally, they say a man dies twice. The first time is when he takes his last breath. The second time is the last time someone says his name. When will they say your name last? And in what context? Hopefully, it'll be a long time from now. And hopefully they will say, he or she was a good Jew who gave back to the community and who gave back to Temple Beth Am. We're embarking on a grand campaign to remake our campus, grow our day school, and secure our future. I will be giving all I can to the effort, and I know you will too. The strength of our Beth Am community gives strength to our Jewish community, which in turn improves the greater Miami community of all faiths. And there it is, striking the balance between universalism and particularism, right here at Temple Beth Am. Am Yisrael Chai. God bless Temple Beth Am, and God bless America. Thank you.